This is the car key. I really like the slim design. It's also light, but elegant, also with a touchable 3D Mercedes logo. Then again, for you, exclusively the traditional door handles with the closing sound. Satisfying, isn't it? Inside of the door, it's really well processed, soft touch. Then here's a matte wood inlet. You can get different styles, but I really like this one. You also hear it. It's a matte surface, it feels very natural. You can also fit some bigger bolts at the inside of the doors. That does work. And at the inside of the other side, here you see there's a special badge. This is just a small gimmick. Really funny, I love those details. And if you take a first look at the interior, it has been totally redesigned with a modern steering wheel. The Distronic ACC is at the steering wheel now, not a separate column. There's a digital cockpit setup we'll soon take a detailed look at. First of all, at the seats, you can see they are quite voluminous. Unfortunately, there's no alternative to animal skin yet, not from the stock price list. You have to specially ask for it at the dealers then. And let's see how the seat form plays out. So now let's get inside, and today the shoe tab is really important because of the snow. Here we go. It's really funny, the seating position here always in the G-Class. You sit so upright and so high, even higher than in the normal street SUVs. And also the look around, because everything else, the front hood is also quite low. You just have a fantastic view, and this is also what is crucial. Even though the front screen is not as upright than before, it is still very upright, so this is also a very unique feeling when sitting here. I'm 1.86 m or 6'1", and that still leaves plenty of headroom, even though we have the panoramic roof here, which can be manually opened and closed. And then you can also, of course, really open it like this one and leave some light in here. This is a pretty nice feature for sure, although it's not too big, of course. Well, in this new generation, there's more legroom in the front, 3.8 centimeters, so a little bit more legroom in the front. Of course, it depends a little bit on the seat, but the maximum legroom you basically have. And about 6 centimeters more room also sideways. So shoulder and elbows have also a lot more room than in the previous generation, because I told you initially, the car has become wider. The steering wheel, you adjust it electrically here, like this, in reach and height. And the seat control is at the inside of the doors. So showing it in a review is always a little bit not that easy, because I have to reach over there. So you can also lengthen the lower seating area, the lower area, front and back part, and even the head restraint with the electric function. It's also pretty funny. Heated seats and cooled seats are also available, and also a seat massage. We'll take you on a tour of the infotainment system pretty soon. And was also interesting, I mean, it's not a new feature, but still one nice to have, that those side bolsters always pump up in the corner at the opposite side, that you're getting, you know, some more feedback right there when you go in the right corner. This would be here pumping up a little bit, going stiffer, then you're getting held tight. Interior overview, you can still get analog gauges on the left. This one is the top setup with 2x 12.3-inch screens. They are not touch, but they are dissolved into one big area, also with some ambient light, and the nice matte wood inlet right there. Also at the top here of the panic handle, or the beep handle, round turbine vents. Also very interesting from design. It's of course more modern, less buttons than before, but you still have a separate climate unit, and those are the 3 buttons here for the differential locks. We also tested that one in our soft off-road and even a little bit harder off-road driving episode in the summer. The steering wheel, again, from this perspective, is the standard one we know from Mercedes, basically. Volume on the right, and with the right thumb you can also control the right screen. So that is possible then when you don't want just want to keep your hands on the steering wheel. And on the left side you control with your left thumb the digital instruments. Soon we go into details of those screens. Digital instruments, they're quite helpful because you are flexible then. I would still like analog instruments because they're fitting for this car somehow, but the digital instruments, for example, can display some GPS information. That is for sure helpful. Or you can also change the design if you want, for example, to a different style. So you are definitely more flexible with it, and it's also good to see. But again, for this car, I think analog instruments still somehow fit. So this infotainment screen is not touch yet. It's not the new MBUX generation. So it's a little bit older generation, but still it has great visualization, that's for sure. And as I said, you control it either with the right thumb at the steering wheel or with the central control jog in the middle console. And voice command is also possible, but not with Hey Mercedes. You press a button, then you need to follow a certain scheme. So it's not like this free voice command yet. Pretty cool for sure that we can not only connect the phone via Bluetooth, but also with the cable then, with the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And if you hear your music, you can still use the car navigation. That's pretty interesting and important. Here, my favorite feature, definitely the massage function option, of course. You can go for a separate one, then you really get all the way up to the shoulders. That's pretty nice. And the camera system, if I put in reverse gear, I have the reverse camera plus the drone view from above. Also nice that the car is colored in blue. Of course, you have to pay this extra if you want the most sophisticated system. Then you can also switch around, for example, on this side view that you see some more of the rims, right and left tire next to each other to protect them, or the view to the front also in different angles. And this is also the self-parking system. We've tested that recently with the Mercedes B-Class. So again, the 3 differential locks close again for you. Then this is the climate unit here, hotter and colder. Still the analog clock we have here. Or some hotkeys for the infotainment system too. Then again the matte wood, really nice. You can slide open for little cup holders. This here in the front is also a spot to put your key. And there's another 12-volt power supply in the very front. Then this is the classic control unit for the infotainment system. You can also deactivate the ESP. The driving modes are selected here. Oh, then there's a camera system button. There's a separate button for that. Always good to have that. And the low range mode for the real off-road use. And finally, the split armrests open like this. And then you have, first of all, an inductive charging platform here and 2 USB supplies. One for connecting the smartphone and one just for recharging. As for the rear department, well, this has massively changed. 15 centimeters gain in length for the legroom. So far, you could not really sit with tall adults in the G-Class in the rear. Now you can, especially with those gaps here for the knees, even though the overall package is still bad. So there's not a lot of room in the G-Class in the rear, although it has already some substantial length. Headroom, however, is no problem for tall adults. That's totally fine. And you sit pretty much upright again here also in the rear. That's a comfortable position. And the rear part, you can also make it a little bit steeper if you want to sit more upright, or then of course all the way back if you relax a little bit more. Middle part here with the armrest, adaptive cup holders, and there's also a ski hatch available. You open it then from both sides. Since we're also in the ski region here today at the Timmelsjoch, it might also be a fitting venue. And at the very lower part, you can fold this open and have the USB supply next to a 12-volt power supply. And to already prepare our look at the trunk, you can fold up the seating area like this. And then it's possible to flip the rear bench even full flat. Of course, the front seats have to be in the front at some point. So this is exactly set up where it would be working, and do the same at your side. Let's now go for the rear hatch. Let's also take this closing sound. It's the same then with the doors. And again, due to the heavy rear replacement tires, those doors open sideways at off-road vehicles. Of course, you couldn't flip them up. So, and that's it. Actually square dimensions, you can see. I'll soon take the measurements. This is a rubber floor mat, which is additionally available with a G stamp here as well. And this one here is an additional net you can put out. There's a cover available, which has rails at the sides, 12-volt power supply. You can see some space is, of course, lost here due to this traditional building style. Otherwise, it would be even wider. But how wide is it actually? So, in the length, we got approximately just 80 centimeters. So it's not too long. However, in the width, although we're limited here due to those wheel arches, they're still just above a meter in width here. So that's actually quite good still. And if I put a cabin trolley here inside, you can see you can fit it upright in here already, like this, and a couple of those, or like this even. So you'll just get along with this trunk for sure. But now when I flip the seats, so I've already flipped the base of the seats. Remember that we're a little bit faster here now. And then I can also fold the rear bench completely. It's of course limited up to here then. Same I'll do at the other side. Yes, Thomas workout here just for you again. So here we go. Now the question is again, what's with the length there? If I go to this rear seat, so from there up to the end is just over 1.50 meters for loading longer things through. Or you could just put those two up again and then use the ski hatch to load through even longer things. And of course you can easily deinstall this top cover here with pushing it inside. That's also possible.